All right, sweet Virgo, let's get going. The devil is here in the main position. And the devil basically is a temptation. It could be behaviors that you have changed personally. It could be an addiction that you've changed or looked at. And this is just kind of a temptation to go back into the behavior that wasn't positive for you. So this is just a temptation. And what crosses you is the Seven of Swords. So it does look like you're protecting yourself. This does feel like you're protecting yourself close to the heart. So there may be some communications or some changes within an ex relationship. This could be, anything from alimony to just creating something that's a little bit more comfortable for you. That maybe you agreed to something in the past that isn't comfortable for you now. So it does look like you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your heart, and you're trying to make some changes that better you. It also can be a fear of theft. So it could be somebody who's been taking advantage of you that you need to have some speaks with and change that dynamic. So what is on the top is the Four of Cups, and it is upside down. So usually that's making a decision, taking a look at everything that's in front of you and not ignoring something that's right there, but it's upside down. So it does look like you are aware of everything that you have to do to propel some project forward. So don't sit in the thinking space. It's time to put some motion to that. I'm also feeling that if there are contracts to be signed, please read them very carefully, and you are allowed to edit them, add, and take out anything that is uncomfortable in an agreement form. But it does look like there is a new plan coming up, plan of action after this communication and allocation of funds. But it does look like a new project that requires 100% of your attention, and that you may have to allocate some money. So go ahead, read everything very carefully, but it does look like there's something within a agreement or contract, could be written, could be verbal, that maybe is not in line with your best growth. So don't be afraid to edit and to communicate those changes if you need them. What is in the past position is the Lover. So it does look like you have been working through some things in relationship space that could be releasing a relationship that wasn't working for you, making those changes, making new agreements, bringing things up to present time in a relationship space, or actually creating a new one. But it's in the past position, so it's something that's probably already taken place and that you're already aware of. The Six of Pentacles is here, and the Six of Pentacles, that can be money. It's the physical thing. So it does look like it requires your new project, or whatever that is, requires not only your attention, but a little bit of financial commitment on your side. Make sure if you're going into business with someone or going into partnership, that all areas are balanced and feels comfortable to both sides who are making the agreement. But it does feel like that you will be kind of giving out a little bit more finances and making a little bit more of an investment into your future. It could be, saving for a long-term project, or travel, or an agreement to go into business with someone, or it could be just cleaning up your bills. But it does look like you are focusing on allocating your money to where it will benefit you in the future. The Moon is here, and the Moon is the things that are inside of us. So it does look like you are projecting some of these positive changes that you've made intrinsically or inside, and they are reflecting onto the outside. So you may seem a little calmer than normal. You may have let go of some long-term goals that really weren't working, and kind of bringing forth new things from the inside to the outside. So don't be surprised if your creative essence starts flowing again, and it looks like you've been working on some physical things for a while. lifestyle. So this does look like taking things from the mental plane into the physical plane. So take that leap of faith and jump into your destiny. But it does look like some big changes have happened internally. So the outside is starting to match the inside, sweet Virgo. The King of Swords is here, and he's an exalted person. It can stand for an air sign, that's Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or it can stand for someone who just makes very wise decisions, has good advice. The sword is lighting up for me for communication, so I think this is more or less a symbol of someone who speaks well, who speaks kindly, and gives good advice, very clear advice. This sword is lighting up, so taking that kind of all these ideas and putting them into a cognitive way to present. And it may be even you, Virgo, presenting some great ideas to start the ball rolling on a new project. And it can be as minor as, having a work meeting and changing some things, and just be really clear with your communication. Sorry, my dog is messing with my camera. Anyway, so the King of Swords is here. So be in integrity, have your words count, have your words be real, and cut through the jive. No roundabout communications, just pure honesty is the best basis, and it's at the basis place. So the more honest you are, the more real about how you need things to work, the better it will be for you for this in this position. So Judgment card is right here, and it does feel like these angels are lighting up, and it does feel like, I know sometimes, Virgo, you can get caught up in the little details and not looking at the big picture, but that doesn't look like what's happening. The Judgment card being here, meaning something that you have been working on, being more neutral to other people's choices, being more neutral to other people's processes. And it does look like you've put some judgment down and not try to control situations so much, kind of not getting stuck in the little details, looking at the big picture. And that looks like it has served you much better over the last month, to really look at the big picture, not get in the way of the process. It may not be the way that you choose the process to be, but as long as the outcome benefits you and benefits those that are working together, then that is really the goal. So it does look like you have turned off some of that judgment, have raised your patience, and going with the flow a little bit. This does look like you have had some new opportunities, either at work or for a new job or for a new way of making money that is kind of a little foreign to you, and maybe even opening your space and ideas to retiring when you had not thought about that. So it does feel like a shift in the work sector, and it has to do with looking at the big picture and what is good for all, instead of getting stuck in the little nitpicky things. So that looks like it's really serving you quite well, Virgo. The next one that is upside down is the Artist, and this is a fairly new card for me. This is an additional one in this particular deck, which really the Artist is getting in touch with your God-given talents, your talents that you brought into the body that you are perfecting over time. So it does look like you have some natural talents that you are not using, sweet Virgo. So if that is the gift of gab, if it's the gift of finance, or artistry, even physical fitness, whatever your gift in this world, don't be afraid to let your light shine. It does look like you have turned down some of your natural gifts, and you're not using them to the fullest right now. So turn on some of that wonderful gifts that you've gotten. And it could be painting, dancing, writing, whatever it is that you have turned down. It's time to turn it up again and to reincorporate it into your daily life. The Star is here. She also is new beginnings. It's giving of yourself to others as well as giving to you. Don't forget to make you a priority along this journey of change. The star, it can incorporate these wonderful ideas that come down from the heavens. It can be a little bit of a balancing act. She is pouring into the world all her creative essence. So don't be afraid to pamper yourself a little bit, Virgo. If the road gets a little bumpy on this new endeavor, pull back a little bit, give to yourself, make sure that you're giving to yourself on the physical health realm and the mental health, but don't give it all away and not give it some to you. But the star is your creative essence, and it is right under the artist, which is upside down. So I believe once you start incorporating your natural born talents, this star energy will be a little less intense. Things will fall into place a little bit, and it's kind of like taking things from the heavens and putting them into the manifestation of the physical realm. And now is a perfect time. Not only are you an earth sign, but there's a lot happening astrologically in the earth plane. We have that grand trine all in the earth signs. Your own sign is Virgo is in Mercury, which is communication, shooting things down from the heavens, the ideas manifesting. So it's a really ripe time to sign that contract, to create a new way of doing things. The hangman is here on the left-hand side of it. That's doing things a little differently, trusting in the journey. It is, the same life, but your perspective has shifted. That's basically what the hangman is when your perspective has shifted. Nothing in life has really shifted except the way that you process and the way that you look at things. And it does feel like it's a little lighter. It's a little less regimented and orderly. You're letting things flow. You're taking that leap of faith and looking at things a little differently. And there may be some tests along the way. The King of Wands is here. That is a fire sign. That's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this does feel like it's either a business partner or a good friend, could be a parent, someone that has really good advice. So it does feel like this new endeavor that you need to collect more information as you go along for its success. So don't be afraid to ask for help, Virgo, if you need it. And the King of Wands is right here. He promotes motion. He's a fire sign. So it could be fast and furious ideas. You don't have to act on every idea, but it does feel like this is someone that's very creative. It doesn't have to be someone in a male body. Could be someone that's just very strong, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone who has good integrity and helps things move. It does feel like someone that is like the cog of the wheel of information, someone that gets people together. So this may be, even a loan officer or a friend that brings two people together. But it is looked like a cog of a wheel type person, that he connects the right type of people together. He or she connects the right type of people together. But there will be a lot of motion coming up in the next couple of months, Virgo. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you get a little stuck. So that is your general reading, Virgo, for the month of September. I'm going to throw a couple of these karma cards. Actually, they are chakra cards. So your perception, there's perception. Yes, your perception of life has taken a 180 shift. And for many of you, it may have been caused by, something medical or and all of a sudden sorrow of some kind. Could be even divorce or a death of somebody, but something kind of jarred you out of this little wonderland that you had created for yourself. But it does look like your perception has shifted. You've lightened up a lot on how things should be. You're enjoying the journey as well as the outcome now, and not getting so stuck up in the details. So, all right, perception is the first one. I'm just going to pick another one out of here. So, confusion. It does look like with this shift of doing things a little differently, you can get a little confused about what your next step is. So, don't be afraid to ask for help from someone who has experienced that instead of staying in that state of confusion. But it does look like things have shifted. I am feeling that your relationship space is maybe a little confusing to you, that there has been some shifts and some new agreements and some other things that may need to be discussed a little bit more to feel more on the growth, more on the positive side. So it does feel like you're a little confused around your relationship space, and that is changing, whether it is taking a step up in your relationship and creating a new agreement and commitment, whether it's releasing the relationship or creating a new one. So there's a bit of confusion. Ride that out. Let it show itself to you, Virgo.